Hey, what's going on guys? LavaDoesGames here, back in my video. Today we're going to be reviewing the patch notes for the newest patch in the magic-based battle royale SpellBreak. So if you don't know what SpellBreak is, it's basically like a wizard battle royale where you have different types of elements and you can fuse them together to use spells to kill other enemies. And the last person standing wins, of course, as all battle royales goes. So in this video I'm just going to be reviewing the newest patch notes and how I think they'll affect the game. So let's get right into it. So one thing before we get into the review is that I'll only be going over the big changes in this video, none of the small changes like the audio fixes or the map changes or anything like that. Only thing I'm going to be over is the balance changes and all the new features that are added. So for the first thing that they added in this update is the spring step rune. It's uncommon, so we find it quite a bit. It's a 5-second cooldown and it's just like a leap into the air. So here's what it looks like in game. Okay, so the next addition was the spring step rune, and basically use it and it just brings you up into the air. It's like a mega jump kind of thing. I think this is just, like they said in the post, it's just another low cost, easy to find ability rune. Always good for the game. Overall, it's a pretty cool rune and I think it was a good addition. The next rune is the dash rune. So it's very epic, so it's going to be kind of hard to find. Has a cooldown of 5 seconds, and basically what it is it's like a quick little dash in the direction you're moving. So the way I put this is it's kind of like Tracer Blink in Overwatch. I don't know if you guys played Overwatch, but it's like a Tracer Blink, so you blink where you're moving, not where you're looking, so you can use it to juke your enemies. So here I am in the lobby with the dash rune. Basically what I wanted to show you guys is that if you're running away from someone and then you dash behind them, get some free damage off because it goes in the way you're moving, not in the way you're looking. That'll confuse them and you'll get some free damage off. And overall, with stuff like that, and there's many more other things you can do. You can dash like side, dash through them, and then damage them. It just adds overall a higher skill cap to the game, and that's great for every game, no matter what it is. Higher skill cap's always better. I think the addition of this rune is very good for the game. Another thing they changed was the Wind Gauntlet, and they added mana scaling based on rarity. So the higher rarity you have, the less mana it's going to cost. And also what they did is you can also now impulse off of other surfaces other than just the floor, so you can do it off walls and ceilings now. And let's see what that looks like in game. The next thing I wanted to show here is the changes to the Wind Gauntlet. Basically, if I have common, mana goes down very fast, you only fire a couple shots. If I try it with uncommon, it goes down slightly slower. And then if I try it with rare, goes down even slower. And with epic, a lot more shots off. Legendary, you can fire a lot of shots before it goes down. Trying to make it more viable as an attack gauntlet, not just a mobility gauntlet, is very good for the game. And overall, I think this was a very good change to the gauntlet. Another thing they changed was the lightning gauntlet. Basically, they said that lightning was designed to be anti-air and it was being used too much while you're in the air. And what they did to it is now when you're in the air, your accuracy is significantly decreased by bloom. So when you shoot, the second and third shot will be really hard to hit if you're in the air, but the first shot will not be, as the first shot has no bloom. And also what they did is when you use your sorcery on top of you, you get shocked by it now. You can't use it in point blank scenarios. Let's see what that looks like in game. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show was the changes to lightning gauntlet. So basically, I'm aiming at this wall right there. It's concentrated, and then if I jump, I'm not moving my mouse at all here, by the way. The bloom goes off, and the aim is everywhere. I'm trying to hit the middle of this. Normally, hits it. And if I jump, it goes everywhere, and only the first shot should hit, because there's no bloom on the first shot. And the other thing is when you aim down, try to use it on the person next to you, you get shocked also. So overall, I did think lightning was really good. It was by far the best gauntlet. I did think it needed to be nerfed. I'm not sure if this is exactly the way to do it, but it did need to be nerfed. And I think that this is a decent way to do it. Then another change that I wanted to go over is the flight rune. Basically what they did is when you fly up and then the flying stops and you start to vault to the ground, your cooldown does not go down while you're falling. It doesn't go down until you hit the ground. So basically what you could do is like fly like sort of straight up but still go far away. Then as you're falling, your cooldown will go down, and by the time you hit the ground it'll only be on like a 9-second cooldown, and you'll have your fly again really quickly. So here's what that looks like in game. The next thing I wanted to show was the changes to the flight rune. So now when you go off, it does the 5 seconds of flight, 5 seconds over, it's still, the cooldown stays on 15 the whole time. Before, by the time you hit the ground, it would be at like 9 or 10 seconds. In my opinion, that was a little bit too much mobility, as the flight rune has one of the highest mobility in the game for runes, and it having that much mobility was just a little bit too much. I think changing it so that it doesn't reset the cooldown until you hit the ground, I think it's a very good change. So the last big change I made in this update was they changed how mana works when you're aiming your sorceries. So if you were aiming Frost or Toxic or Stone, then you would still gain mana while you're aiming, and now you do not. So at the end of fights, when you're really low on mana, you have to think about how quickly you use your sorceries, because if you wait too long aiming them, then you won't have enough mana left to use your other abilities to combo with them. See how this looks in game. This here in the practice lobby is used to mana. So before, when you were firing like this, and you're aiming your sorcery, you'd still regen mana, and then you'd be able to use your other sorcery to combine with it really quickly. But if you use your sorcery at the end of a fight now, you won't have as much to aim it with. So if you're using Frost or Toxic or Rock and you need to aim it, then not regen any mana. So here I'm at 15 mana the whole time. Then if I'm doing it at the end of the fight, it will not be as easy to combo it with other sorceries. Overall, I think this was an interesting change. I think it does make sense, and it adds a little bit higher of a skill cap because you have to manage your abilities and mana more. Overall, yeah, I think it is a good addition to the game. So those are my opinions on the new SpellBreak patch. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.